YouTube, it's Satch. Welcome to Driver 81. Welcome to a mid-October 2017 morning here in Newcastle upon Tyne. The reason for making this video is, well, basically I'll introduce you to the car first of all. It's a BMW 3 Series. It's 2012, so it comes under the chassis code F30 F31. We're in the touring car, so it's the F31, but the saloon car is the F30, as I'm sure you know this. And I wanted to point out 5 things that will break in this car, or 5 things that are commonly known to break, or just 5 common problems with this car. And it might serve as a little bit of a guide as to sort of if you're buying it, if you're in the market for buying one of these cars and you want to know the potential problems or potentially how much you're going to have to fork out if something goes wrong. I will say one thing about these cars. So far they've been on the market for about 5 years and the reliability has been pretty damn good. Although with every car there are a few issues, so I'm gonna dig into those, and you can make your own mind up if the car's for you or not. So the first thing I want to touch on is the steering rack. This is prone to giving a knock or a thud when you're turning left or right. Now, it is a known problem with BMW, and thankfully they have done something about it. They have issued a vehicle recall notice. So if you are on the market for buying one of these cars, or indeed if you even own one of these cars, it is worth checking out with BMW to see if this car is covered under the vehicle recall, or indeed it has been done, or if it hasn't been done, you need to get it booked in for the work. I would recommend doing that in any case, not just if you do have the thud or the knocking when turning left or right. It serves as good maintenance for the car. Okay, the second thing that will undoubtedly fail on this car, and it's not so much a failure, mechanical failure or electrical failure, it's the alloy wheels. The alloy wheels on these cars do suffer from serious corrosion, which is a little bit disappointing because the wheels can often make or break the car. And if you've got a set of BMW alloys, genuine BMW alloys, that are starting to crust or corrode or look generally tatty and horrible through no fault of your own, then it's pretty disappointing. But what generally happens is there's a centre cap in the centre of the wheel, and that starts to corrode from the inside of that centre cap to the sort of outside of the wheel. Now it can corrode on the, as I say, the inside of the wheel, around the centre cap, and also around the lip of the wheel as well. It often gives the impression that the alloys are curbed when in fact they're not. It's just corroded around the lip of the alloy, and that's exactly what's happened on this car, unfortunately. So that is an absolutely massive thing, and it's not just me, it's widespread. Go online, type in BMW F30 wheel corrosion, and you'll see thread after thread after thread on the BMW forums. So that's the second thing you need to look out for. If you are buying a car with a set of alloys which are corroded, you might want to either A, negotiate a price with the dealer to get them refurbished, or make sure you're getting money off, because it's probably going to cost you around $250 for a set of 4 alloys to be fully refurbished. Okay, the third thing on the list of failures on this BMW 3 Series is sadly something which again has happened on all of the other previous BMWs. The E36, the E46 and E90 BMWs are notorious for it, and it is the failure of certain ABS sensors. It's generally the rear ABS sensor which fails. The good news is the replacement ABS sensor is quite cheap. If you go on to Dominator Auto Diagnostics, I'll put the link directly below. You can pick up an ABS sensor for this car for about 24 quid, which is pretty good. The symptoms of a failing ABS sensor is that your speedo may no longer work. You will get the dashboard warning lights, you'll get the ABS warning light, you'll get the traction control warning light, and you'll also get the brake warning light. You'll probably also get a message pop up on your message center to say that the ABS system is not working as it should. So generally it's going to be a faulty ABS sensor, as I say. It could also be a faulty ABS module or an ABS pump which is at fault, or indeed the reluctor ring. So if you do get this fault, yes, your dashboard will light up like a Christmas tree, but don't worry about it too much. What we would advise you to do is go for the CORROSION i910 kit, which is a diagnostic tool, and it'll hook straight up to your diagnostic port, and it'll tell you exactly where the problem is straight away. Like I say, generally it's going to be an ABS sensor, but the modules and pumps have been known to fail as well. So I'm going to put the link directly below this video to where you can pick up the ABS sensors and also the diagnostic tool to actually diagnose the fault. Now, the good thing about the diagnostic tool is that it will also diagnose other systems. So if you've got a check engine light, or you've got an airbag light, or any other warning light, you can use that kit to actually diagnose the fault and find out what needs to be fixed. Okay, the fourth thing on the list, and this is really quite strange, and I haven't looked into it enough to find out why it's actually happening, and it is corrosion and rust spots appearing underneath the driver's seat and the passenger seat. Now, I don't know why, like I say, I don't know why this is happening, but I've seen many reports from BMW owners of these vehicles to say that it is happening. So if you're looking to buy one of these cars, or if you own one of these cars, it's worth checking out to see if you are seeing any rust spots appear. Of course, if you do find anything when you're buying one of these cars, point it out to your dealer, and same as anything, negotiate a better price. Nobody wants a car that's rusty, and if it starts to smell feisty because there's water ingress or moisture getting in there, then it's not going to smell too great. So one thing to check out for, the rust spots underneath the seat. Okay, the final thing on the list, and it's not really a problem, and if it is a problem, it's quite difficult to solve without a lot of headache and pain and annoyance. Basically, it is the fact that this car in general, this is a 5-year-old car, so you may not notice it on a brand new car, but certainly a 5-year-old car, you can hear it every time you go around the corner, every time you step in the cockpit. In fact, it's basically the fact that the cockpit and the interior has so many rattles and creaks. It doesn't sound like a premium car. It sounds like it should be a 1.2 Fiesta from 1997. Unfortunately, that's the case. The reason being, I don't know if you can hear this, but when you look at these dash panels, you can just hear them creaking and rattling all the time, and it's really disappointing that BMW would allow something like that to come out on one of their signature cars. So what can you do about that? Well, I don't know. You may be able to pull the dash apart. That's for somebody who's really handy with the tools and has time to do such things. But if you're not happy with it, then I would walk away. Make sure you do a test drive with the radio completely off and only talk when necessary. Make sure you spend a chunk of that in absolute silence, listening out for any noises and sounds. Make sure you test it on rough and sort of uneven road, because that will give away a lot of secrets about the car and what it's actually potentially hiding. So yeah, that's 5 things that will break on this car, or 5 things, or common problems might be a better term. But I hope it's been helpful if you are looking to buy one of these cars. Not looking to scare anybody or put you off buying one of these cars, because, you know, take away those problems, it is a pretty good car. Other than a few, there are a few other things which I've made a video on 5 things that I hate about this car. The main one being the relationship between the engine and the gearbox, and the jerkiness between the gear changes, which makes for a very unpleasant drive. But take away that, take away the common issues, it's an excellent car. Yeah, but I mean, now in all honesty, it is a good car, but the same with any car, you are going to have problems with it as they start to get older. But these problems, I think, you know, it's not wear and tear problems really, it's BMW being a little bit shit, which is a real shame. So yeah, so hope it's helped. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, please subscribe to the channel, because I have lots more videos on the BMWs, BMWs, Porsche, Jaguar, anything I can get my hands on really. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.